Welcome to the Phonemes and Letter Sounds module. Looking ahead. In this module, we will begin by defining what a phoneme is. Then, we will discuss the relationship between phonemes and letters. Finally, you will practice producing letter sounds in order to develop a deeper understanding of phonemes. Phonemes. A phoneme is a single speech sound. A, d, t, s are examples of phonemes. There is not a one-to-one correspondence between phonemes and letters. There are 26 letters in the alphabet and over 40 phonemes. Some letters make more than one sound. The letter A can be pronounced as A, as in apple, or A, as in fate. Also, some single letters are produced using more than one phoneme. The letter X, for example, is composed of the phonemes K and S. Two phonemes, one letter. In order to build students' understanding and awareness of phonemes, teachers need to be able to produce phonemes correctly. Surprisingly, many of us think we know our letter sounds, but speech-language pathologists would tell us otherwise. We're going to spend the next few minutes reviewing some basic phonemes that are associated with letters of the alphabet. Before we begin, there are several things to note. First, you will notice that I will stretch some sounds. E. Stretch or continuous sounds are those sounds that can be produced as long as you have breath. Stretching sounds will help students with blending as they decode. Get in the habit of modeling stretch sounds. Stop sounds are produced with one burst of air. D, g, t. Modeling a crisp pronunciation of stop sounds will help students build their phonemic awareness. Be careful not to add an sound at the end of your phonemes. For example, the sound for the letter B is not B, but B. I will present some sounds that may sound different from how you learned them. For example, many of us learned the letter sound for Q is qu, but when we are decoding, we do not say queen. To facilitate blending, we teach Q as the sound for Q. Keep in mind the pronunciation model provided facilitates blending of sounds together to make words, not the isolated production of a sound. Finally, there are two special symbols that are helpful in cueing how a phoneme is produced. The breve, shaped like a small U, indicates a short vowel sound, as in A and I. The macron, a small flat line, indicates a long vowel sound, as in A and I. Let's practice our sounds. For each phoneme, I will model the phoneme and then pause in order for you to practice producing the sound. Feel free to backtrack the video for more practice. A, A, B. When teaching stop sounds to your students, you can teach them to make the sounds quick and quiet. The sound is frequently added when we want to add volume to the pronunciation. Also, to help your students clip the sounds, you can tell them to think of a teeny I after the burst. K, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, O. For this sound, be careful not to add a vowel to the beginning of the sound. It is not L, but L. Feel how your mouth changes position as you switch from to The pinched lips are released and the tongue is placed behind the teeth to produce the sound. Understanding where sounds are produced in your mouth can help you model and support students' correct pronunciation. Ah, O, P, Q. Here's that tricky sound for the letter Q. It is produced as Q. Let's practice this one again. Q. R. Remember, do not add a vowel to say To produce correctly, think of a word that begins with R, like rabbit. Say the word slowly, rabbit, and then isolate the sound. S, T, U, V, U. For this sound, ask students to pucker their lips as if they're going to blow out a candle. Then produce the oo sound. X. The sound for the letter X is composed of two phonemes, K and S. Y. This sound is produced Y, as in yellow and yarn. Tell your students to smile as they produce this sound. Z. Congratulations! Now you know your letter sounds and how individual phonemes and phoneme combinations are produced. Let's review. A phoneme is a single speech sound. There is not a one-to-one correspondence between phonemes and letters. Producing the phonemes correctly facilitates decoding.